Go.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Stephen Michaels. I am joined by Phil Robinson. This is the Just Win Recap Week 2 show. What's up, Phil?
Woo! Another Raider win. That is the way to do it. Just Win show is delivering dividends and telling the team exactly what they need to do to keep it pushing, keep it moving, and most importantly, keep it winning. So
just think about this. At the launch of the show, just win. The Raiders they just keep winning. It's like we're the good luck charm. So everyone listening, you remember that. The more you listen to this, the more you get into the mindset. Just win. And look at that. It's rubbing off on your Las Vegas Raiders every day.
Amen to that. So we got 5 topics for you guys here today. We're going to dive into the first one. This one is very near and dear to my heart and near and dear to the heart of every Raider fan. Big Ben goes down hard.
Wow. What was that noise that just came out of your microphone? But, yes, Big Ben goes down hard. That's what Phil was just saying. Yeah, he goes down real hard. I mean, the Raiders defense really ate this guy alive. They've been doing it for 2 weeks in a row. Lamar Jackson, of course, obviously can avoid some of that. Big Ben, for being a big guy, he can avoid that shit too. He's not fast. He just knows how to avoid, stuff. But let me tell you something. That front four of the Raiders, that's the best front four so far, only 2 weeks, that I have seen in a long time out of this team. And they are eating, Phil. They are after these quarterbacks.
Not only are they eating, and not only is it the best front four you've seen on this team in a while, they're leading the league in pass rushing pressures at 87.7%, was a grade from Pro Football Focus. Solomon Thomas had 3 sacks. So I went back and they actually ended up giving him that sack where it looked like he tackled Ben behind the line, but he fell forward. So Solomon Thomas, a former number 4 overall draft pick, is out there eating a defensive tackle, and he's a rotation piece. These guys are just flat out getting it done. When Ngakoue went down, Nassib came in and produced a game-changing play. Nassib has been solid. Max Crosby has been otherworldly. You look at Gus Bradley is getting the most out of his guy. He's getting the most out of guys that were holdovers from Gunther's team. And look Hankins. God, look at Jonathan Hankins. That guy looks like he's back in New York playing next to Tuck and Umanora.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been on fire. This defense, there's no doubt about it. But they have, I believe it's like, what do they have? 5 sacks so far?
6 sacks. 6 sacks. They only had 21 all season last year. They're in 2 weeks. They've reached almost a third of the sack total from last year in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times they have hit the quarterback, but I know just last week they had 10 quarterback hits, and they were getting after Big Ben. You know what I mean? Even if they're not sacking them, they're pressuring them. They're making them feel uncomfortable. That is like,
sure, that's for sure. And they're not no love taps either. I mean, at one point you saw Big Ben getting double team smacked. That one looked like it hurt. I actually took a screenshot of that and was plastering that on social media because his face was just laying there in agony on the ground, and I was sickly and disturbingly loving every second of it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I seen some douchebag, I don't know, must be some Steelers fan, or maybe he's a reporter. I don't know. He has a check mark next to his name, but what does that mean anymore? You can buy him for $100. But this guy tweets out, "Oh, the Raiders are allowed to hit, Ben Roethlisberger, but if we hit Derek Carr, then there's a flag." There was a lot of difference there. First of all, this guy hit Derek Carr in it was helmet to helmet, and that, that's a big difference than helmet to helmet than just getting beat up. And that's exactly what the Raiders defense did. A lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they were not expecting the Raiders to go into Heinz Field and just whoop their ass. They weren't expecting that at all. Like, pretty much nobody was. The Raiders were underdogs once again, but that's what they did. They went in there on a short week and just kicked their ass. And they imposed their will on the whole Steelers team.
Yep.
So the Raiders, I mean, that's back-to-back victories, man, against two playoff teams, off to a good start. So what's next, Phil?
Speaking of off to a good start, that brings us to topic number 2. And one quarterback, Derek Carr, who is playing elite, who is playing out of his mind. I would, what's the word I'm looking for? Said, I would beg you to find a quarterback who's playing better than he is. Off the top of my head, the only two that I could come up with would be Tom Brady and Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray's been sensational with that wide receiving core that he has out there in Arizona, and Tom Brady is just going to be Tom Brady. But
yeah, Tom Brady sucks, but yeah, Derek Carr's playing better. Derek Carr's better than Tom Brady. Let me tell you something. Derek Carr, he started out week 1, I mean, it looked like it was getting a little rough there for the first 2 quarters against the Ravens. But that fourth quarter, and especially in an overtime, obviously, against the Ravens, I think that's when he started to come alive. You know, he started to, if you remember the Ravens game, he was trying to get to Waller way too much. Once he starts spreading the ball around, that's when you look better. And if he can continue to do that, get that ball around to everyone. I mean, everyone. I was happy even last week against the Steelers, Derek Carrier was getting catches. Derek Carrier, the guy, somehow the guy's still on the roster. We don't know why or how, but he was even making plays for the Raiders. So, and John Gruden likes to have, 3 tight ends sometimes out there. So, I mean, Derek Carr spreading the ball around. He's been playing fantastic the first 2 games, but as you know, I'm always a skeptic. So I always say we gotta, hold off a little bit because we're only 2 games in and we know how things have gone in the last couple of seasons. So Derek Carr has to earn my trust and earn everything because we have seen this. We watched the movie already. So we know we need a different ending. We need a different story here. And he's off to a good start. And you can't take away from what he has done so far. So you can we could just throw away what we have seen last year and the year before because this team is completely different.
You could do that, but to me, like you said earlier about we've seen this video in 2 installments already. So the only thing that Derek Carr could show me will come after week 12. Right now it's beautiful. I want to jump on the bandwagon. I want to scream to the heavens. This is going to be the year. I'm all in support. He's finally going to get the monkey off his back. But I could take it a step further and say I've seen that monkey off his back in a contract year as well, and he's got to get to the playoffs. Mayock has said it, Gruden has said it, everybody on the team will say it. Somebody's got to actually mean it. Somebody's actually got to do it, and that's coming down the Carr.
And also, I mean, the guy got paid $120 million, at one point the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So it's not something that, this is something that as Raider fans should just expect that this guy gets you into the playoffs. Him playing well is something that, no offense, when you're getting paid $120 million, I expect Derek Carr to be playing this well. So I'm not going to go out there and pat the guy in the back, it's not like he's a rookie. I mean, he got paid one of the highest paid quarterbacks because he's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. so far within the first 2 weeks, he's living up to that contract. And that's something that is very exciting, and I hope can continue, obviously, because he's doing a phenomenal job right now. We know he's got a banged up ankle. It doesn't even matter. He's still, he went out, it looked bad, right? When he went down, it looked bad, like, oh no, especially with no Mariota as a backup. And he went out there, got taped up, and he still balled out. So kudos to Derek Carr. He's leading the charge right now. He's spreading the ball around a lot more than he was in week 2. Hopefully that's just a sign to come that more guys will be involved.
Absolutely. And that takes us to topic number 3, the guys who are responsible for making sure that Carr doesn't take any unnecessary shots. The O-line. Now, how would you rate the O-line play? I'm sure that you and I see this slightly different, so I'll let you kick it off.
All right, so here's the problem. Alex Leatherwood was, he is shaky, man. He is shaky, that dude. I don't trust him. He makes stupid mental errors. He holds a lot, which was a knock on him coming into the NFL out of college. And he's doing it now in the pros. You can't hold like that. He got away with it in Alabama because Mac Jones gets the ball out of his hands fast, and I think it's because it's Alabama. He got away with it. You can't do that now that you're in the NFL. They are going to be watching you, especially when you're going up against a guy like, let's say TJ Watt, some superstar. Those refs are going to be watching because the NFL, they want a guy like TJ Watt to get sacks. When you're up against a superstar, the refs are going to be watching you. This guy has to play better. He has to, because let me tell you something. When he got injured and came out of the game and Brandon Parker came in, that offensive line looked much better in my opinion. So they're holding up well right now. I would give them I'm not going to give them an A grade because, quite frankly, their run game is non-existent right now. I know Jacobs is injured, but they're still not opening up holes they weren't opening up holes for Drake, who's not really a workhorse running back. He's more of a screen guy, does a bunch of shit. But still, they tried with him, but there's no holes being opening up. So they got to do better on that. Leatherwood has to stop with the penalties. Especially in the red zone. All that does is hurt the team. That's all it does. It hurts the team. So, I don't know. I would probably give them a C grade right now. And Derek Carr, you can tell that he wants to get the ball out of his hands fast. And plus, let me throw this in there too. Andre James, he's got to get in sync with Carr. He's got to know when to snap that football. We've seen that almost happen it happened first week, almost happen again in Pittsburgh where he's fumbling. He's got to get himself in check there. So I would give them like a C grade because they are holding up good enough where Derek Carr can get the ball out of his hands, but they could be playing so much better in my opinion. And it would help out. Think about it. When Josh Jacobs comes back, if the Raiders could have a run game on offense, it would make Derek Carr even more better. It would open up so many things for that offense.
More better. Well, we actually do see the O-line play virtually the same with a couple of minor exceptions. Both of those fumbles between the center quarterback exchange were on Carr, were Carr's bad. Now, in the game against the Ravens, when it looks like he just snapped the ball for no reason, if you go back and you look at that play, right before he snaps the ball, Carr does, in fact, clap his hands, which is the signal to snap the ball. So he called for the ball and then looked to do something else. And when he got it, it made James look terrible. In the game against the Steelers, if you go back and you freeze frame it and you go frame by frame and watch, Carr bails out early without the football. He's about a half a beat early, rocking backwards by the time the ball hits his hands, which is why it drops straight down underneath James. So he's got to be better at paying attention to receiving the ball, the center quarterback exchange. That's on him. Now,
okay, wait a minute. to be fair, just because you clap your hands doesn't mean you're snapping a ball. Just because you clap your hands doesn't mean you're snapping a ball. Clapping your hands could mean anything. You don't clap your hand just because you want the ball. Go watch every single play. I bet you Derek Carr's clapped his hands 3 times before the ball got snapped. Sometimes he's clapping his hands to tell the guys, hey, they're doing an audible, trying to get their attention, getting people to look back at him. It's more of a verbal command. I think Andre James heard the clap. I think he did hear the clap and snap the ball, but I don't think Derek Carr was ready ready for the ball yet.
I know. I don't. 100% know that he wasn't ready for the ball. That part was obvious. But moving on to finish my thoughts. In terms of the running game, I was looking at the run game, and what you're looking at is you need a different guard to be pulling and blocking on a pull than John Simpson. Him pulling and trying to block whoever it is that he's supposed to block when he pulls, it just is not working. He's got to be a straight ahead blocker, or maybe a zone blocker, but asking him to pull is ending disastrously. And another one of the things that I saw that could be slightly better is we could get, if our tight ends could be just a tad bit more stickier with holding their blocks for just that extra second. And if they can do that, that will help out both in the run game and in the pass game, because the run game is not clicking, but it's not far off. It's a block here, it's a block there, and in this league that makes all the difference. So we need to get a little bit more consistency in their run block and effort. In terms of pass protection for the guys that are out there, they're performing admirably. The spread and Carr getting the ball out of his hands quickly is working for everyone, and I would encourage them to continue to do so.
And he doesn't have to step in. Step into his throws. He's doing exactly what John Gruden wants him to do. You stay flat-footed and you can throw a bomb like that, so you can pretty much stay in the pocket and launch one. He did that with Zay Jones in the first game. And I believe he did that with Henry Ruggs.
Yep.
Yeah, if you notice, he didn't even have to step into it. And that's a big part of the West Coast offense, where you can kind of just plant your feet, but still launch the ball, for a bomb. And it seems like he's finally getting the system, what Gruden wants, down. You know what I mean? Like,
he's mechanics. Yeah. He's personalizing it now. It's gone from Gruden's system to his interpretation, his execution of said system.
Yeah. And the more, by the way, that he can also challenge Gruden, I need to see a little bit more of this, of when he gets up to a line, he knows it's a bad. Now, he's done it a couple times in the last 2 weeks, but we need more of it. When it's a bad play, don't be scared just to tell Gruden basically to screw off and audible right out of that play. That's what that big touchdown pass to Henry Ruggs, that's what that was. That wasn't supposed to go there. It was going to go to, I believe, to Renfro underneath, if you go back and watch that play. But Ruggs comes unglued, uncovered, and Carr just launches it. Because when Carr goes to the sideline, you can clearly, I can read lips, so that's why. But he tells Gruden, I told you so, I told you so. He had him open, and he decided he was going to go for that. Carr's got to audible more sometimes, I think, because you know how John Gruden can be. This guy can be way too conservative sometimes.
He can, because his conservative nature almost cost him when he went to running the ball early, when his offense was hot and coming on, and the defense had just got him a turnover. When I saw him run, I was like, ooh, that is the wrong move. And
when Derek Carr's aggressive, that's when he's at his best, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. When he remember in 2016, I know there's, a lot of fluke games there, but still, he was being very aggressive. He was throwing the ball more. He was taking more chances. He's got to do that. He's got to make smart choices, obviously, when he takes these chances, but don't throw the ball away. Don't throw it into the ground on third down. Try to make a play, and if the call's coming in and that's not going to get you a first down, and you can get that first down, guess what? John Gruden's not going to get mad at you for changing the call as long as you got the first down. He's not going to care. Rich Gannon, Brad Johnson, both of those guys, they did it to John Gruden all the time. And John Gruden, of course, will take credit for it because he loves it, because it'll feed his ego. But, that's what Rich Gannon had to do. He's talked about it so many times. John Gruden wanted this call. He went out and said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this. And guess what? John Gruden, it works. And John Gruden celebrating and hugging him, even though it wasn't even his call. Derek Carr needs to do more of that, in my opinion, and he'll get even better.
Yeah, that's the improvisation that takes you from being good to great. And that's what's been missing from his game. But moving on to complimentary football and truly welcome breath of fresh air. Stephen, this defense is a top 10 defense in terms of points allowed.
Yeah, the defense is playing outstanding right now. I mean, just completely outstanding. There's no other way to put it. I mean, they're playing great. They are. The only one who I think is struggling out there is Damon Arnett, and I don't know how long Damon Arnett is going to be on that field, to be honest with you. But, even Carl Nassib, a guy who the Raiders were about to cut in the offseason. They're restructuring his money. They don't know what to do with him. He is playing. He was a healthy scratch last season, pretty much, almost every game. Now the guy, he's playing at a high level. He's playing very, very good. Max Crosby's on fire right now. And then, like I said, that front four is very good. And obviously the linebackers, as we all know from watching the Raiders from the past, 10, 15 years, they have abandoned that position. It's like they haven't cared about that position in so long. They don't draft anyone when they should be drafting a linebacker. They finally bring in real linebackers, and look how different this defense looks. Their linebackers are they might have the best linebacker group in all the NFL right now. They're playing lights out. Denzel Perryman's playing phenomenal right now. KJ Wright is. And most importantly, it's pretty obvious. Gus Bradley is just the better defensive coordinator than Paul Guenther. You know what I mean? It's more simple. I know they do a lot of cover 3, the cover 2, but it's still simple. It's simple football. Your front four is right there. Our guys are going to try beating your guys and get after the quarterback. And so far, that's been working. They don't have to blitz that much. And when they do, it usually works out because the other team is not expecting the blitz to come. So everything is clicking on all cylinders right now for the Las Vegas Raiders. They're playing at a high level on defense.
They absolutely are. And in terms of this front four, it is breathtaking. It's beautiful to watch. It's exciting. I'm excited to see this team play defense. And they're still only scratching the surface. They haven't even begun yet to really break in and incorporate some of their other people. And what's really impressive, and I'll save this for the next topic, what I was getting ready to say, but what's going on very strongly is that they are getting to the quarterback. Everybody is getting to the quarterback. This whole team is sniffing out sacks and they're hitting the quarterback. Quarterback must go down and go down hard. And by golly, they're doing it. They're shutting down the run game. Even though the numbers look lopsided again when they played the Ravens, I think they finished 34 rushes for 189 yards. 86 of that went to Lamar Jackson. And without a quarterback who's running all over the place and a more traditional run game, they completely shut down the Steelers. They could completely. It's just been such a joy to watch this team go out, get 3 and outs, see the way that teams are converting less than 50% of their third downs. It's just, and like you said, the difference between Guenther and Bradley is so big you can't even call it a difference. It's a pretender versus the man. There's just no comparison.
Yeah, I believe they've only let up 2 passing touchdowns so far in 2 games. Yeah, I believe. So they're playing I mean, like, you can't compare. I mean, I said this on the Raiders Daily Show, but you can't compare this defense to last year's defense
No.
because it's like almost like it's a different team. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it is a different team.
It is a different
It's pretty much all different players besides a few here and there. You got all different coaches. It's like a whole different team. And that's what gives me hope that this won't be like the previous seasons, you know, when they collapse, when they look good early and then they have this epic collapse. And I'm excited about this coming game. You know what I mean? This Miami game that's happening, because this could be the game where we see the Raiders defense really, really start annihilating them. They should be able to destroy Miami.
They should be licking their chops. Miami has the worst graded offensive line in the league.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I expect a blowout. I'm hoping this is not a trap game and the Raiders are looking, you know, to Monday night, because the next game is against the Chargers. I'm hoping that they just take care of business and just blow out the Dolphins, because we haven't really got to see that a lot under John Gruden. A true blowout, you know? Every game is like the most they blow out a team is like 10 points or something. I want to see them dismantle the Dolphins like Buffalo just did to them. You know, that's what the Raiders need to do.
Absolutely. It's going to be difficult because Miami's going to come out spirited, having just got blanked. They're definitely going to come out, give the Raiders their best shot. And they actually may be better with Brissett than with Tua, but you know, that's just my own personal opinion. But I expect we'll save that for the Just Win show week 3. But to wrap it up with our final topic, Steven, what to you was the biggest surprise of week 2?
Well, biggest surprise of week 2 was probably just the Raiders being the Raiders defense once again was a big surprise. I mean, they keep surprising me every week how good they play. Also, the Raiders really had no run game. They went in there with no Josh Jacobs, and Derek Carr pretty much had to throw the ball almost every possession, and they still kicked the shit out of the Steelers without Josh Jacobs. The biggest surprise really is they went to Pittsburgh on a short week and they won the football game. In most cases and most years, as you know, watching the Raiders, this would be a for sure loss. A big win, a huge win, gets all their fan base excited. Then they go on a short week across country on the East Coast, 1:00 game. Normally that's when the Raiders would get demolished and lose. We've seen it last season, you know, when they beat the Saints and then they go to Buffalo and they get killed, you know, or whatever, New England. Now they went on a short week to Pittsburgh. That's a hard place to win. And they not only won, they could have won by about 3 or 4 touchdowns. You know, I mean, there was a lot of points they left off the board. And the one thing I will say is they got to stop kicking the field goals and start getting more touchdowns. That's one thing that will, I'm telling you, come back in one of these games could come back and haunt them. You know, having Daniel Carlson out there way too much kicking field goals instead of touchdowns, that could come back and haunt you on one of these close games. So I want to see them score more touchdowns. I really do. I don't want to see Daniel Carlson too much.
Absolutely. And for me, the biggest surprise of week 2 was the coverage of the secondary, with the exception of the play you saw that Damon Arnett got himself in trouble with giving up that long catch to Claypool and then running by him and not touching him, letting him get back up and keep running.
The coaches are not happy about that play.
That's the type of stuff that costs somebody their job. But in terms of everything, if you go back and you watch that game, a lot of the reason why Big Ben got sacked, it was holding the ball so long, was because the Raiders were blanketing their wide receivers. And Matt Canada's offense with Pittsburgh is designed to take advantage of zones, designed to get man beaters. It's a complex passing system to have to defend. And Bradley's units were all over it. They smothered the wide receivers. They didn't let him get anything. You haven't heard Trayvon Moorig's name much at all because he's not getting burned deep. And nothing is really getting to. Not only is nothing getting to, teams aren't even trying it.
No. He's been playing. Listen, he's a safety, playing free safety out there. I mean, I would like to see him get an interception eventually, but you're not really hearing his name. That's pretty much a good thing. That means he's not getting burned over the top. He's not getting destroyed. The only really bad thing, you mentioned it, was that Damon Arnett in the fourth quarter, just for some reason, just letting the guy catch the football, and he just kept, Damon Arnett just kind of walked away or ran away, and it was weird. But yeah, I agree with you. The secondary, they have been so much better. But the one guy that really stands out, Bill, has to be Casey Hayward Jr. This guy had a phenomenal game. You know, and that's a surprise right there because, you know, he's older. We don't know before the season when the Raiders get him, bring him in. You don't know Casey Hayward Jr. if he still has anything left, if he's going to be motivated, if he's going to play. You just never know. This guy comes out there and he just really took leadership of that secondary. He has been lights out, dude. He's been lights out. Balling out. So that would probably, I mean, this guy has been really good. Really good. And so has Nate Hobbs. I mean, think about that. First, I mean, a draft pick.
His tackle. You know, Nate Hobbs was putting on an open field tackling clinic against guys, the Steelers wide receivers, with all the routes that they designed for Juju to break loose and shed off a guy with his strength. Nate Hobbs was out there open field tackling his ass off.
And that's something the Raiders defense have lacked in the previous years is tackling. I don't know why, because you get taught to tackle in Pee Wee football, but for some reason they've had a hard time tackling in years past. That looks like it's been corrected. Even Jonathan Abram has been better at tackling.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is something that's very good. I mean, I know we're only 2 weeks in. I don't want to give people false hope. I don't want to make stupid predictions, but listen, they just beat the Baltimore Ravens, who, by the way, beat the Chiefs, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you look at their schedule, you know, until that bye week, you got Miami, you got the Chargers. The Raiders, if they can continue to play at this high level, they can probably, you know, go undefeated for a little while here. You know, I don't want to jinx anything, obviously.
Definitely make a run, and after they get past, what is it, weeks 4 or 5, suddenly that schedule starts to lighten up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got Miami, you got the Chargers. And I don't have their whole schedule in front of me, but they are, you know, this is a team that I believe they're going to be able to win some games here. You know what I mean? And this is a team, if they keep playing the way they're playing, again, that's the biggest question mark is, can they be consistent? They have Miami, they have the Chargers, they have Chicago, then they go to at Denver, then they have the Eagles, and they have a bye week. So think about that. Miami, Chargers, Bears that have not been playing very good. The Denver Broncos are the most overrated 2-0 team maybe ever. And the Eagles aren't really good. The Raiders, I mean, if this is the same team who beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they could probably, I mean, logically speaking, they could run the table all the way to the bye week and pretty easily.
And come out of it with a win.
Yeah, I mean, none of those teams that they're facing before week 8, none of those teams that they're facing are better than Baltimore. None of them. No. I don't think they're even better. They're not even better than the Steelers.
Nope.
So, I mean, it's really all up to the Raiders, really, right? It's all up to them. Can they stay consistent? Can they keep this going? If they can, who knows, man? Now, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just saying this is a different team and they're playing at a high level, but they have to prove to us and they have to earn it because they haven't earned it yet. They have to earn it. They have to show it that they can continue to be this dominant. And if they can, we're all going to be really happy because we've been waiting a long time.
Man, really long time. And they would have pieced together this whole thing and built this roster up the right way and got it set up for years to come. But that's all we got for you guys today. Steven, tell them about what you got coming up for yourself.
Well, publicly, nothing. I'll have a public podcast next week. And of course, I'll be doing shows for the greatest group in the world, the Raiders Daily Elite, where I do all my stuff. And that's it. You'll see me on Twitter or something. Other than that, don't bother me. Okay, what do you got, Phil?
I got the Unfiltered Truth podcast tonight. We have on Anton Staley and Professor Klump, the editor of the Dolphins Digest magazine, contributor to Fin Fanatics. So we're going to get down and I'm going to tell him about how sorry his team is and how they're getting steamrolled on Sunday.
Who's his favorite team?
The Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins. Oh, well, he's in trouble.
Yes,
he's in big trouble.
So that's at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Later on tonight, you can catch it on the YouTube channel. You can catch it on Facebook Live, The Unfiltered Truth. Follow me, like, and subscribe so you can donate to my pockets because I need money.
Me too. And me and Phil are broken. We need to pay our bills. Friday, we'll be doing another Just Win show that will be We'll be talking all about the Dolphins. And then after that, we're going to be starting our new thing here. We're slowly going to be going into it. We'll tweet about it on Facebook and things like that, what's going to be happening. But if you enjoy this show, you're going to want to keep on listening because it's going to keep on getting better, a lot better. So that's it really for me. Listen to Phil on Filtered Truth tonight. And then that's it. We will see you guys on Friday. And what's the only thing we care about, Phil?
Just win, baby.
That's it. All right. I am Stephen Michaels. That is Phil Robinson. We will see you guys on Friday. Just win.